Hey guys, it's Joel and welcome back to another podcast. I failed to mention last time, but this podcast is going to be called Driving with Joel. I don't think I'd made my mind up last time about that, hence why I didn't mention it. But I should just say a special shout out to Clarkson Dan on Instagram and YouTube, because it's sort of his name. He does Driving with Dan and I might have pinched it from him. So thank you, Dan, for that. So yeah, this is the second episode of Driving with Joel, and the first thing I wanted to say is thank you so much for watching the first episode, and you guys seem to enjoy it. I don't think that I've got any dislikes on YouTube, which is quite good, although you're probably going to give me some now. But yeah, you guys seem to enjoy it, so thank you so much for the support, and that's why I'm now filming this next one. Today is a little bit different. Today I've brought on a guest. We'll get to that in a second, and there's a few topics which we're going to be talking about. And there's a few topics which I'm going to be talking about, which tends to happen in a podcast. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Grand Tour. We're going to bring on a new feature of this series, which is going to be called Worst of the Week. So, ideally, I'm going to want you guys to send me in some stories or some video clips of really, really bad driving examples. It's something that I always wind my friends and family up about, going on about bad driving. Not that I'm a perfect driver, but I thought I might wind you guys up with it instead, and you can get involved. So that'll be happening. So then I guess it's time to stop beating around the bush and introduce you to the first guest of Driving with Joel. I can't quite believe I have got this guest for my first guest on Driving with Joel. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to introduce you to him. My first guest today is my brother. Hey. Hey. So this is my brother Jacob. Say hello. Do you have any social media?
Nah, not really.
He doesn't need any plugs.
You are paying me though, right?
Yeah, please can we not talk about that, guys? I'm not paying Jacob. Jacob's just here because I couldn't really get anyone else. No. Jacob actually suggested to come on the podcast with me. I didn't really think about doing guests on this podcast, but I think it was quite a good idea. Yeah.
Get a bit of banter going.
Yes. And yeah, we were going to have a chat really about a few things. Jacob is very into film.
Yes.
Well, so sorry, we should probably establish a few things first. Yes. I know this isn't Top Gear, but this is a car-related podcast.
Yes.
You're not massively into cars, are you?
Basically, all I know about cars has come from you, from osmosis. So, no, quite a lot over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy cars, but not to the same degree that you.
You wouldn't call yourself a petrolhead?
No.
What do you drive?
I drive a Volkswagen Golf.
You drive a Volkswagen Golf?
A Volkswagen Golf. A Volkswagen Golf.
Volkswagen Golf, and it's what engine size is it?
It's 1.6.
FSI, TSI, FSI?
I don't know. I think it's an FSI.
No. This is
the point. Yeah, I'm not.
But you like that car, don't you? That's your first proper car.
It's my first proper car that I bought. I did have a Renault Clio that was an N-Reg, so I don't know what mark that was, but pretty old. I was pretty banged up. It was like a go-kart on wheels. That was pretty nuts. I enjoyed hanging that round the corners.
You didn't hang that round?
I didn't hang it, but...
True story. Once, when I was about 15, me and my mates were driving that down the drive, because no one was used to just drive it. We have a private drive.
Because we're so posh.
Yes, we're from Surrey.
We're from Surrey.
Anyway, we were driving it round the corner at the end of the drive quite quickly, and the light fell out. the headlight, the right headlight just fell off the car. Yeah, I think we discreetly put it back in.
Yeah, you would just drive the car for fun because you couldn't wait to drive.
Yes. But maybe we'll talk about that a bit more some other time.
Well, I did not know that. Thanks for breaking my car.
But yeah, I was going to get on to you're more into sort of car design, I guess, if you were to appreciate
aesthetics.
Yeah,
I suppose. But I do also understand like what a good engine is to an extent. So I mean, I basically bought the Golf and your and our dad's recommendation essentially, because he said it was a solid engine. And we found it just widespread.
You're just chatting breeze.
Chatting breeze, okay. Great. I enjoy it. It's a great car.
Golf, it's a reliable car, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were going to get a Polo.
I was thinking about it.
Same price for a Golf, and you get a lot more car for the money. So I think that was the main thing.
Yeah.
So I failed to say at the start, guys. I hope you've all had a brilliant holiday season.
Yes.
And a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
It's a bit old for that now. We are now in 2018. But I hope you've had a great New Year and a Merry Christmas. But that brings me on to the fact that this is quite old news. The new Aston Martin Vantage, Vantage, whatever it is, it's been out on social media for a little while now that it is 2018. But I thought, who better to talk to about the looks of it than you, being Mr. Designer.
Yes, I am a designer. Not of cars, but of other things.
Yes. What do you think of it? Pheasant?
I might be quite unpopular saying that I quite like it. I think you said the internet is a bit mixed on the response. I know, I guess they kind of have to evolve the look of the Aston, don't they? I think as nice as the older ones are, I don't think it looks better than the older ones. I don't think it's an improvement necessarily. I don't like the front, the grille that's at the bottom. It looks like it's a giant gaping mouth. It's a bit ugly.
Like it's trying to, like a whale going for its food.
Yeah, but so that looks a bit out of proportion. At the back, though, I do like the lines.
That's interesting. I'm really not a fan. I mean, maybe I need to look at a few. To be fair, I've only seen pictures of the first release car, which was like this lime green thing.
No, it's sort of silvery grey.
Some people were like, the colour's amazing, but I was like,
lime green?
I've never seen an lime green, I never wanted to.
It's not a Lamborghini, is it?
But perhaps I'll come around to it because McLaren, told you before, but the McLaren 720S, when that was released, either the Paris or Geneva, I can't remember. That, like, everyone on the internet was like, this is the most disgusting car I've ever seen in my life. I was one of those people.
Yeah.
And then, like, the first time I think I actually got in, like, I literally physically got in one and saw one. I was like, it's amazing. Well, actually, I think the first time I was like, it's not so bad. It doesn't look as bad as the pictures.
Sure.
And then now I've seen sort of, obviously they're around, I've seen a few on the road. Yeah. There's one around where we live. And it looks amazing. I now think it's one of the best looking cars on the road. Which is crazy because I genuinely hated it. I thought, why could anyone like this?
Completely flipped on your opinions.
Yeah, so maybe that could happen with the Vantage.
Yeah, I don't think it's an ugly car by any means. I think people's standards are so high these days. It's like,
and there's definitely manufacturers now are focusing a lot more on aerodynamics and stuff. Hence the sort of weird look at the 720S and maybe this Vantage.
The efficiency.
That definitely brings me on to the McLaren P15 Senna. I think that's the right name.
Yes.
Again, I mentioned this to you yesterday. And you had a little look.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and I know the 720S I came around to that, but I can't see myself coming round to the Senna. It's vulgar.
It's just, it looks like they've taken a nice car and they've shoved a horrendous body kit on it. I've never liked that look, that aesthetic where they take essentially like a 720S or something that hasn't been overly modified, at least from the outward appearance, and then they just chuck on some spoilers and some weird mud guards, and it looks fat and disproportioned. And I understand some performance vehicle, that's why those things are there. A performance vehicle. But
really doesn't know anything like cars.
Well, that one's obviously more designed for track racing. As opposed to road.
I think it's a road-based race car.
Right.
Is what you'd refer to.
Sure, but it just purely from looks. No.
Yeah, and it's funny, I've heard lots of people say it looks like a nice car which has been driven through a Lego shop.
Lego shop.
And I think Clarkson's analogy he's used before was not an analogy, but it looks like it's a nice car and someone's just taken a sledgehammer to it. So just put a load of sort of gaps and air.
Air ducts and everything. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
Maybe
I'm not a fan of the Vantage, but I'm definitely not a fan of the new Senna.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts, guys. Of course, there are maybe 2 or 3 of you watching, so let us know what you think. I think we'd both be very interested to hear other opinions because I'm not sure. I've mainly heard bad things about both cars.
Right.
But perhaps the quiet ones amongst you are the ones that actually enjoy the look of the car. So I don't know. So let us know, guys, what you think about the look of those cars. Just come to my head now. I haven't planned this, but I thought, as we were talking about aesthetics of cars, might be putting you on the spot a bit. What do you think is the most beautiful car ever made?
If I had to say, the Jaguar E-Type.
Okay.
I just love I love the lines on that thing. I think from almost any angle, but particularly the back, it just looks stunning.
It is definitely a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is to do with how it was designed. I think it was one of the first ones that was designed using a wind tunnel. Okay. So they actually used...
You know more than me, mate. I didn't know this.
Alright, so because of that, they managed to get those sort of long sweeping lines that sort of the wind naturally forms.
Long
when it
body
goes
with
over.
the sort of curve.
Yeah, exactly. And I just...
No, it is a good looking car. It
just looks...
Yeah, it's...
closely followed by the 250 GTO Ferrari.
Yeah. See, that's less beautiful, but just more...
refined.
Do you know? No, it is beautiful actually.
Yeah.
It's just it's different, isn't it? It's
the price range is a little.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a good Series 1E type is like 300, 400 grand.
Oh my goodness.
Which is silly, but yeah, 250 was GTO.
Yes.
50, 60 million.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't actually know what they're worth until they get sold at auction.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe next car, guys, 250 GTO. What do you think? YouTube money.
You.
Okay, well that's cool. I think we've covered that segment, so that probably brings us on to the next segment. Okay then, so the next topic I wanted to talk about, I think I talked about it in the first episode, but as you're here and you've watched it too, the Grand Tour.
The Grand Tour, yes.
What are your general thoughts
on the series so far, or this current season?
Yes, on the seasons. Yeah, on the season so far.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it more than the first series. I think. For me, it feels like they're trying to recapture the old Top Gear magic a bit, and not quite getting there. This is more a reflection of the first two episodes, actually, of this season.
Well, the second episode was really good.
Better.
Is that right?
First one. Yeah.
I'm trying to. What have we just watched yesterday? Was that the fourth?
Third.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought the first episode was a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it felt like they were forcing the banter, and it was obviously very scripted, and all their interactions were sort of like, I say a thing, now you say a thing, and it felt like in the old Top Gear that they actually hung out together, and that like off camera they were talking and chatting and you know trying to mess each other up a little bit. Whilst in this it feels like they don't see each other outside of it, and they're just doing it for work and money. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like there's that same chemistry that there used to be. And
I know what you mean. I
gripe.
think the dynamic isn't quite there as much. So I sort of agree with you. But I do think that, especially in the second and third episode, we'll talk a bit more about the third episode in a minute. That there are moments where that old dynamic is definitely there, and it doesn't look forced, and it is genuinely funny.
Yes, but those are less than the original.
It's not throughout. It's certainly.
It has been improving throughout the episodes. Definitely, their chemistry's been getting better. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm looking at Top Gear with rose tinted glasses, and nostalgia, and all of that. But
I do think the whole the studio thing just isn't as good. I think that's the biggest letdown.
I always don't look forward to those bits. Whilst before in Top Gear, they were like some of my favourite sections.
Yeah, because there were some funny moments.
Yeah, like Conversation Street is just not like.
They need to scrap that.
The news. What happened to the news? I always enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean they probably can't do it, but I mean.
Yeah.
The Conversation Street is just scripted. It's just
scripted.
The problem is that it's like they all have, and I'm sure it would have been the same at Top Gear to an extent.
Yeah.
But they all definitely have a line. They're not talking over each other.
No.
And when it's sort of, Jeremy will say to James something.
Yeah. That's like his cue to them.
Then it will be like, oh, how did I win that? It's like you're not actually shocked. Yeah. Mate. You know exactly what you're going to say. Like there's just no.
Maybe it's just the way it's been edited. I don't know.
Yeah, and it would be. Someone said, was it you? It'd be really interesting to go to sort of the studio and see if they still have the. Yeah. It was Dad, wasn't it? Our Dad was saying, because our Dad went to see Top Gear being filmed when it was Top Gear with Clarkson.
Many years ago.
A while ago.
It's the episode with the Pagani's on there, I believe.
Yeah, so it would have been a decade ago at least. Yeah. But anyway, he was saying that in the studio when they were recording sort of the studio bits.
Yes.
Off camera, they probably had to do sort of 8 or 9 takes for every segment because they were just swearing and doing really stupid things, which obviously couldn't be published on the BBC. Yeah. So there was a lot of sort of that going on. So whether that happens with the Grand Tour filming or not.
I don't know.
Because like you say, is it just a case that they're turning up for work, getting it done, getting paid, going home?
Yeah.
Or are they genuinely still loving it? So I don't know. But I think they do still genuinely love what they do.
Yeah, I just don't know if they enjoy hanging out with each other as much as they used to.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, the whole fact that they're not doing Top Gear anymore, that was never really their choice. Obviously,
well,
it's not getting to why that happened. We know why that happened.
That's the whole thing, yeah.
But, there's probably a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
They put it off, but
yeah,
they wouldn't be doing Amazon if it wasn't for what happened. So,
but what I will say I love about it, the Grand Tour is, and it's sort of carried over from Top Gear, is that the production value is always incredible.
Yeah.
Just from how it's filmed and how it looks, it always looked like, I just love the sweeping shots of the roads and the cars, and he always found interesting ways to film cars in different ways. And
that brings us nicely to episode 3, I think.
Yes.
Was it? I'm really confused. I feel like it's episode 4 we watched yesterday.
I think it's 3, man.
Episode 1, what happened?
What happened? I don't know.
Episode 2 was the New York one where they raced a GT.
Yes.
And then that was more. But I feel like there was another.
But episode 1 was where he crashed, where Hammond flipped the car, and then the next episode was them doing that challenge in New York because they were using the whole gag.
That was 2 weeks ago, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't. It might have just because you watched it when you watched it, but this is episode 3, I'm sure.
I feel like someone in the comments is going to say that it's episode 4.
Well, correct us if we're wrong.
So anyway, we've taken way too long here.
Yeah, that was a completely pointless exercise, but yeah.
So we've established it was
episode 4. There we go.
The latest one, it was out. I mean, we're not filming this in 2018, but we're watching it in 2018. We watched this last night when it came out.
Yeah.
And I was really happy with it. I thought it was really good. I thought I was going to come on to it because you were talking about the cinematography being amazing.
Yes.
The shots of that Audi TT, drone shots, and that aerial Nomad in Croatia.
Yes.
Incredible, those drone shots.
Yes.
Looks amazing. I want to know where that road is. If anyone knows, let me know and I'll drive the Z4 there tomorrow. But yeah, it was incredible cinematography as always.
Yes.
That's to be expected.
That's always been good. That's always been consistent.
I thought it was really funny the whole way they took the whole concept of the fact that people have been saying it's very scripted on stage.
Yes.
And they sort of made a joke out of that. Now obviously it's still scripted on stage.
That was the joke.
But I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed James going off on a mad tangent trying to make a fire engine and them getting annoyed with that. That was quite funny, and obviously how that all ended up with his vehicle becoming a little unusable, and James and Richard and Clarkson making their own little fire
which turns completely out of hand, which is exactly what we said was going to happen.
Yeah, so it's predictable, but that was fun. It felt like their banter was a little more natural, and yeah, there were certain bits of it that were definitely better. So I would say that it is improving week on week. I actually quite enjoyed the what do they call it, the celebrity face-off section. That was quite good.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was actually quite funny because I had no idea who either of those two people
I've
were.
not really known who anyone is in any of the...
No, they're not really celebrities, are they?
Apart from Hasselhoff in the first episode.
Yeah, the categories are very obscure.
Yes.
So they sort of seem to have people that you might not have heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. You weren't here, but...
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, we just took a quick pause. As you've probably noticed, I am moving the cameras around in this podcast. I just think it's a little bit more entertaining than having one camera angle. If you would rather I didn't do that and it was just completely raw, let me know, and I'm happy to try that too. Anyway, we were talking about, before we had to pause, we were talking about the track part of the Grand Tour.
Yes.
And yeah, it's for me, it's just a little bit of a disappointment that I think the track's quite cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the track. But it's just a little bit of a disappointment that they're using a Jag F-Type, which is a Tiptronic, but it's in automatic mode. So they're not really sort of engaging and driving the car.
They're just throwing it around.
In my opinion. And also, as Jeremy Clarkson sort of mentioned in yesterday's episode, traction control is on.
Which you'd suspected.
And as I think I was saying, there are reasons for working in production. I know that there's reasons for all these sort of things. It's probably a health and safety related thing.
Yeah.
But it just ruins it a little bit for me that they're sort of traction controls on, ABS is on, and they've got all of these assists, whereas the old sort of Suzuki Liana,
they
it was
throw
just them
that
in the
around.
car. It was just them in the car. They were like, you know,
But it's
giving
more
it
fun
everything.
to see something like that pushed to its limit as opposed to a Jaguar that
I think that's the point.
just sort of not being used to its full potential.
Exactly. They were literally driving that Liana or Chevrolet or whatever they ended up with on the ragged edge.
Chucking it around. And it was also fun when you had like Americans or other guests come on who hadn't driven a manual. You had to kind of learn that as well as, you know, all the track stuff.
Although, interestingly, it's just, I've just remembered, like in the BBC Top Gear, so the new Top Gear, they've ruined it as well because they've started using a Toyota GT86.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember? They've this red Toyota.
Yeah.
So GT86 was just like not a massively powerful car, but you know, it's quite a good car.
Yeah.
But traction control's definitely on in that as well. I remember thinking it's just it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I'd much rather they just have a Toyota Yaris or something, maybe something a little
something
high caliber,
ridiculous.
Something just silly.
The Z4,
they can just completely
Z4
drag
traction
around.
off.
Yeah, sure, why
Great.
not?
Although they probably wouldn't get away with having a soft top for
No,
racing.
obviously.
Anyway, I think we've talked about the Grand Tour enough.
Yes.
You've probably all stopped watching by this point. I don't blame you if you have. No.
I still think it's worth checking out the Grand Tour though. If you have, you know,
I'm sure everyone watching this has seen it, but yeah, if you haven't, because you were let down by you just really didn't enjoy the first series. Which
it's definitely better.
I didn't really.
I haven't even finished the first series. Like.
I don't think I ever did, to be honest. I think I might have done, but it was boring.
Yeah.
Well, there was a few things they did, but like I think the first episode with like the army thing where they were shooting. Anyway, we've talked about that enough. Yeah, that brings me on to the new topic which I mentioned earlier, which is worst of the week. Maybe I should do like an
intro.
PewDiePie intro. PewDiePie.
Yeah.
You're really crazy. Worst of the week. Child literally dribbling a football on the road. What a douche. Yeah, so this isn't going to be a very big topic this week because I haven't planned it. Because the worst of the week, what I want to happen here, I think I mentioned it earlier. I want you guys to send in your, on Instagram or whatever, send in your sort of comments and stories about the worst driving examples you've seen. It might be you're watching this one day and you've just driven home from work and someone has cut you up, or you just saw some awful driving of any sort. I want to know about it. I want to share it with everyone else because I find it entertaining. And it is something that I like talking about because it really riles me up. It gets me angry and ready for the day. But yeah, if you don't know me personally, if you do know me personally, you'll know that my biggest thing that just reminds me of, I'm quite an easygoing person, I'm quite laid back. But one thing that really, really angers me is just bad driving.
Yes, and you're vocal about it as well.
I'm rather vocal. I've spent 3 minutes talking about it already.
Yeah, and you go on about it at home as well.
Yeah,
I've had an experience that day of someone driving badly. You can tell us all about it.
I think so. But to be fair, I'm not a perfect driver. I don't want anyone to think I'm the best driver in the world. I'm sure there's a lot of people who go home and say, I can't believe I saw a black BMW doing this, that, and the other. Anyway, worst of the week. I want to, if I have a guest, talk to my guests about their worst of the week or their worst driving experiences, and I want to talk to you about it. So if you guys can help me out for the next episode and send in dash cam footage or just any comments on this video,
or just write
your stories. Yeah, literally just let me know some bad driving examples and I will share them on the podcast with everyone else. So cool. So Jacob, you are my guest this week.
Indeed.
Have you got, and I haven't prepped him for this, have you got any things that come to mind of sort of bad driving you've seen? And it can't be me. It can't be the fact that I've almost been in this car 8 times during this podcast.
And your previous car ownership and yes, we won't go into that. But maybe if you want to hear that, let us know in the comments.
I think I might have shared it. Actually.
Yeah. Anyway, it's more just like, okay, so I come back from work on a road called Hindhead, by Hindhead.
Yes.
And it's a lovely road. It's coming back towards our house. It's downhill, and there are many corners, and it's 50 on the last section of this. It's 40 leading up to it, and it's 50 at the end. And no one adheres to this. No.
What, they break the speed limit, or they?
Well, they go a lot slower.
So they're not breaking the speed limit.
They're not breaking the speed limit, but it's just irritating. And literally every time I come home, there is at least one. There's a roundabout just before. There's a couple of mini roundabouts before this road.
Yeah.
And every time I come up to them, like, please, no one pull in front of me. And every time,
do you know what?
There's
I know
someone
the road
that comes.
as well, and
Yeah.
I speed up before I get to those roundabouts. I'm like, no, there's no one coming. There's quickly, and then someone
There's
turns.
always someone on your right.
Goodness sake!
Give way to the right. Someone always on the right pulls in front of you, and it's some Honda Jazz. It's some, Range Rover driven by someone with no spatial awareness and who doesn't know the road very well, or is just overly cautious. So they'll be braking on every corner. They'll be going 30 the whole way, regardless of the fact it's 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. And every corner they'll brake. Every time someone comes around the corner, they'll brake. And to be fair,
Yeah, people coming the other way, people brake.
They go,
It's like,
and to be fair, it's quite a hazardous road if you don't know it. Like,
quite a hazardous road.
it's quite a hazardous
Do you work
road.
for DVNA?
I do, yes. I don't.
Section 143, when you're on a hazardous road.
Anyway, it can be quite treacherous, but most of the time it's perfectly safe to do 50. It's completely safe.
Yeah, and I know the road as well. No, I agree with you.
And you can, turn in, and it's not dangerous. You just ride down and you ride your brakes a bit. But no one does this. And I'm always stuck behind someone doing 30, and then you get out of the section and it's still 50, and everyone's doing 30 or 40, and then it comes to the 30 bit, and everyone does 40.
So generally, there's lots of roads around here that are 50, 60 national speed.
Country roads.
Whatever. Hindhead Road being one of them, which I know, the one you've just talked about.
Yes.
But people will generally just drive to the conditions, so they don't even take note of the speed limit.
Yeah.
Is this the guy? What a bell end!
It's pulled in front of you.
Worst of the week.
There you go.
Can't believe you just did that. If I wasn't,
PG. PG.
Parental guidance. I'll let him off with that one. People generally will just drive. So it's a 50.
Yes.
They're doing 40,
Yes.
35,
Yes.
and it's bloody irritating because it's fine to go 50.
Yeah.
But then it goes to 30 and they carry on doing 35 or 40.
Yeah.
Or
No,
sometimes even speed up.
Yeah.
Because in some 30s you can actually see further straight and smooth roads.
Yeah.
It'll speed
It's
up.
residential.
It's just like, you've held me up. I always make a point of it. If it's a 30, I do 30.
Yeah.
And if it's a 50, I do the speed limit.
Yeah.
It's
just annoying.
ridiculous. It's so annoying.
And to be fair, it didn't annoy me at first, but when it happens every single day after work, it gets a bit.
It's almost like you just want to tell the person, like, your car will go around that corner at 50.
Yeah.
Or
It's safe.
there's a car coming the other way. You don't need to slam your brakes on.
Yeah. It's just.
And
people are so
it's actually a thing
reactionary.
people don't realise is, at low speeds, not really, but generally you shouldn't brake on corners because it unbalances the car.
Yeah.
So if anything, braking around a corner is more dangerous. You're adding less grip and stability to your car.
Yeah.
It's actually, to drive a car balanced and well, you accelerate through a corner, you brake before the corner and accelerate through it. But anyway, I'm not Sebastian Vettel, and everyone is better at some things, but yeah, there are some pretty poor drivers.
Particularly around here, I think. Just people have big cars and no idea how to.
Yeah, maybe old people as well. There's quite a few of those around here, and they're not always the most perceptive.
Yeah. But again,
anyway,
I don't want to put people into categories or whatever.
I don't want to be racist.
Don't want to be racist. Ageist or what, but it's just.
All people can't drive, and neither can women. But apart from that,
I do not agree with this statement.
I'm
I do not endorse it.
Fantastic female drivers and some fantastic old drivers.
And terrible
such as our
people
grandpa.
all round.
But we won't get into that. That's a story.
That's a story.
But let's not even look at him.
No.
Okay, I think that, we've gone, this is way over half an hour, which is sort of what I wanted. I was going to ask you if you've got any more, but I don't think we need to spend any more time on that either.
Lane hoggers on the dual carriageway.
Yeah, that's mine. That's my big thing. And
no lane.
I won't get into it now because I will end up driving this
You'll
car
have
into
a
a tree. And we'll be here for an hour. But that brings me on to the last section of the podcast, which is also going to be a part of every podcast, which is the questions part of the podcast. It's maybe, again, I didn't know I was going to have a guest, so I haven't incorporated you. And these have been posts I've done about me and my car on social media.
That's a bit selfish, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just such a narcissist.
You are. That's why you do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just self-gratification.
If you're wondering why he does it
every day.
Yeah.
If I don't get it,
he needs the approval. Every time you dislike, he dies inside.
Yes, that's it. That's it. You do die then. No, I'm interested about what you guys think. So I've asked you a few questions this week or today or whatever. They're not really questions actually. I'm asking you questions. So I asked you on Instagram earlier, what should I do to my Z4? Now it's no secret that 2018 will probably be the last year to see my Z4. But what should I do to it to send it off or with it? I don't mean what should I do to it. Should I take a sledgehammer to it? I've asked you guys these questions. A lot of you have said road trip, obvious.
Yeah.
I really do want to do that. Geneva Road Trip this year, I'm not driving down there. I've already booked flights, so I'm flying down to that one. So I won't be driving there. Maybe I can organise something else. And the second thing that all of you guys are really saying, do it, is wrap the car.
Oh.
Now by this point you will have seen my friend Raps' BMW video. Ben has wrapped his Z4 in a ridiculously blue colour, and it looks amazing, and that has definitely made me want to wrap my car. So yeah, thank you for all the suggestions. You have given me some stuff to think about and consider. So there's those two bits, and then there was a couple of other topics which a few people have been asking me about, talking to me about, which I just wanted to bring up, and I'm sorry again Jacob, it doesn't really concern
I have a suggestion for your car though.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Viking burial.
Viking burial.
So what you do is you maybe put it on a jetty or ferry or something, and then you set it on fire over a lake, and you watch it burn.
That's a great idea.
It's a great video. You probably get a couple of, I don't know, 100 views.
Do you want to give me a few £1,000 to cover the cost?
No, but I'll burn it for you.
Okay. Great. Well,
Yeah.
that, do you know
Got
what,
a
guys?
jerry can in the garage.
Leave a like on the video. You have 10,000 likes, and we will give this car its Viking burial.
10,000 likes.
Please
I'll
don't
get all
like
my
it.
friends on it.
Don't like it. But there was just a few things that have come up quite a lot. Live streams on Instagram. Now this is something I've started doing. It's something I enjoy doing because I was firstly in a live stream with Sideways Sid. I think it was like the first live stream I did, and I requested to be in Sideways Sid's video, and he accepted and I was in it. It was really fun. So I started doing live streams on my account, but because I don't have that many followers, I'm getting like 4 or 5 views and sometimes less. So it's sort of arguably isn't worth it if no one's engaging. But that's what it's about for me. If there's one person watching and asking me questions, it's still worth it. And there's been a few people I've been talking to about live streams and other such similar things on social media, and they've been saying, I'm too scared to do it because what if people don't watch it? I personally would say to that, don't worry about it. Like, I guess it's a little bit awkward when there's only 2 or 3 people watching, or maybe no one's watching. At which point, then end the live stream. But I don't think you should worry too much about how many people are watching. It really doesn't matter.
You should do it because you want to do it.
Exactly, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
If the reason for you doing it is because you want to do a live stream, do a live stream.
Yeah.
And if no one's watching and you feel a little bit awkward, it doesn't matter because you're doing it because you want to. I mean, yeah, if no one's watching and you're doing it because you want to engage with your audience, probably no. But if there's 2 or 3 watching, fine, don't worry about it. No one's going to think, what a loser. Well, they do, and who cares? Yeah, that also brings me on to another point. A few people were like, fair play, Joel, for doing 35-minute podcasts. I'm surprised you'd want to do it for that long because people don't stay engaged and stuff, which is true. People don't stay engaged. I think the retention, I'm happy to share, I think the retention on that last podcast was like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So, which is generally what you get on YouTube is about 35% retention you get on a video. So that was about a third of that video. So I'm not surprised, but the fact is there will be a few people, a handful of people, 5 or 10% of people who watch through to the end. So for me, that's worth it. So again, if you're filming podcasts or videos, really don't worry too much about how long you're making it. I think that's just the general point I wanted to make today, in spite of some of the sort of comments and questions and stuff I've been getting off people, is just do what you want to do, see how your audience responds to it. If they enjoy it, that's great. If they don't enjoy it, take on the feedback, but don't let it sort of deter you from trying other things as well.
Don't let it knock your confidence.
Exactly. There's for me, it's all a bit of fun. And yeah, if someone doesn't like something, luckily lots of you guys most of the time have liked stuff I've done, But I wouldn't let it lock my confidence if you didn't. But not to mention, if you said, Joel, your podcast is way too long, I would think about shortening it. But to be honest, if I've got 30 minutes of stuff to talk about, I'm going to talk about it because I know that some of you will listen. So that's great, and that's a very privileged position to be in. And I think it's the same for everyone creating content. There's always going to be a few people who are there to support you fully. But yeah, take advantage of that and don't worry too much about what others think.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's, I mean, that got a bit deep towards the end there and a bit uncar related. But yeah, I think that sort of is it for this podcast. As always, guys, I love your feedback. Just leave your feedback. Leave those stories of your worst driving. What is it? What's the
Worst of the week.
Worst of the week. Worst of the week. Leave your stories in the comments. Message me on Instagram. Send me dashcam footage. There's an email link in this video. Yeah, just get engaged. Get engaged. I'm definitely getting tired now.
I mean, I'm engaged. What's
I'm so engaged. Oh, that's clever. I know. My brother is getting married. He is engaged. You couldn't go a whole podcast without mentioning that, could you? Cool. Yeah, that was great. Thank you, Jacob, for being in this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you guys don't think he's too much of a dick. I know he comes across as a bit of one, but
I mean,
I
think anyone would become one if they had to deal with it. So.
Yeah. Cool. So, I guess that's it. I don't really know how to end these things. Thank you so much for watching, as always. There's going to be other content coming to this YouTube channel too. I really appreciate all your support. Give this video a like. 10,000 likes. This car's getting a Viking burial apparently. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, Jake, for coming on.
Yeah,
and Happy New Year, everyone. And I'll see you guys very, very soon.